G'day trendsetters, I'm here today with Mr. David Sheek. He's better known as the Panda Handler, and by that I mean Panda Nauman, who I believe took second
this year.
Second in the 2018 Dirty Kanza 200 mile grueling gravel race. But we're going to focus and talk about Amanda's bike, and Dave basically is Amanda's coach and also her mechanic. So Dave, just tell us a little bit about the bike, please.
It's pretty similar to last year with the Niner RLT RDO. We had a few changes this year with the Grupo, so we went to Shimano Durace, still stuck with the DI2, and then we're working with Kogel or Badass bottom brackets for a lot of these bearings, so some things that were kind of interesting. But these are new pulley wheels that are kind of a big small with a different tooth setup that'll still work with Shimano DI2 or SRAM setups, and they still have like a little big on the chainring tooth pulleys. But with all those bearings that are in there, everything is the cross seals, so like lifetime wise and how things hold up in DK weather or Belgium.
The funny thing is I'm actually about to review one of these fine bottom brackets, so but it's passed the Amanda test.
For the cross seals.
Cross seals. Fair enough.
And then into kind of the rest of the bike, it was, you know, this year we ran the EA90 SL wheels from Easton. They have the new Vault hubs, better engagement and faster on the rear, but you should definitely take a look at them. It's working really well. So she had a couple of these out on course, and then the rest of everything into the cockpit is the Easton AX series or Easton EC90 Seacoast.
And Dave, what about tires?
Oh, tires, that got special this year. So the people of Vittoria sent us over some of the Terreno Dries, which she rode at Michigan Coast to Coast and loved, and then they had a new prototype for the rear, which is their Terreno Zero, and it has absolutely zero side knob. But I went with the same setup just to kind of see how everything was rolling, and it was pretty amazing. Okay. Like how the speed was keeping through the day and traction out there, and I mean, tire pressure was not high, especially knowing there was going to be mud in the morning, so I might have had 33 psi and it was fine.
Okay. What about the gearing? She's running a double IC.
Yeah, so this is actually Easton's power meter crank, and with the cinch system, so you know, with cyclocross or other 1x setups, we can take the back plate off and slide off the double ring and put on a 1x, or this is their new gravel chain rings, and this is a 4732, and there's going to be two different sizes in that, but it was pretty perfect for the Flint Hills because you can still, with a 32 and then putting a 32 in the back, you can get that 1-to-1 ratio, but you can get different shift ramps compared to what other people are going to run with a 1x.
Right. And if you were going to run a 1x, were you going to swap out the derailleurs? I've noticed you've got a Durace DI2 rear. What was the plan for 1x?
Yeah, that was so we have 1x rings, and with the cinch, it's right. One lock nut on the back, and so I can put on a 40 or 42 tooth, disconnect the front derailleur, take off the rear, and then plug in an XTR DI2 and automatically turn everything to 1x. So we had those options available where it's changing out to an XTR 1140 rear cassette with a 40 or 42 front, and then chains were already cut and ready to go for it.
It's very organized, people. And what about her hydration? Is there anything special she uses?
DK is a very different event.
Yeah, well, I'll have a video coming up pretty soon, but the heat was unexpected and the wind was very crazy and really pushed a lot of riders to the max. There was a lot of abandonments yesterday, but
there's a lot of people laying on the side of the road.
Yeah, I think record numbers. So yeah, Dave, how was your race anyway?
It was a long day.
Fair enough. Well, mate, anything else to tell us about the
Yeah,
bike?
just the last one is so this is a new prototype from SDG. People aren't going to see it yet until Eurobike. This is one of the Radar series. We'll have 4 new saddles in the series. This is a product development that I've worked on with them, and so this is going to be the Radar HC. It's uncategorized. So we have designed it with women in mind, but we don't want to limit it to just that, and so Amanda likes to call it the Happy Canyon. It definitely has a larger channel to it than some of the other models we have, and there's some specifics to it with the base design and how it tapers off to allow for wing flex at the sides instead of using a D2 edge system like we have in the past with other things. And there will definitely be more to come on that series as we get closer to MY19.
Okay, and a final observation, I noticed Amanda's running 140 rotors, which Shimano stuff's bomb-proof. I mean, you won't ever heat those things up. And her pedals, Crank Brothers, anything special with those?
It's just what she's comfortable with the mud.
Okay.
So she likes them because of the clearance. We know Kanza definitely has a history of peanut butter, and so yesterday morning was a little chunky, but nothing too bad. But you can definitely see where things were collecting, and so I didn't have any issues with anything, but
No, I had no issues myself. I was a little bit further back though. I was watching the crowd from, 100 meters back. It was more pleasant back there.
We talked to some of the 100 riders, and they said there was 2 and 3 mile hike bikes. So.
Oh boy. Well, Dave, thanks for your time. I appreciate it, mate.
Appreciate
One thing, folks, regarding this bike, I've actually got a full review of this particular bike on gravelcyclist.com, so check it out, the RLT9 RDO. We'll see you in the next video.